And welcome back to News Center 1 today. I'm Anya Mueller, live at the South Dakota National Guard. Now, it was 13 years ago today that we remember the attacks on the U.S. on 9/11. Joined with me now is Joint Chief of Staff for the South Dakota National Guard, Colonel Bill Freidel. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Now, what memory of 9/11 stands out to you the most? Because I feel like everybody remembers where they were at and how they were feeling.
Sure, and that's exactly, I remember we were in a staff meeting at work. Somebody ran into the room and said, hey, we need to turn on the TV. We got the TV turned on about the time the second plane hit the tower, and right then I knew, it hit me that we were at war, that we were being attacked. So that was probably one of the biggest memories. I remember, the pain and anguish the victims and their families were going through on 9/11. Then I also remember how the country came together as one, and my wife and I talked about that last night, how we haven't felt that in America since, but during that time, immediately after 9/11, it was sure a feeling that you felt proud to be an American.
Yep. Now, how did 9/11 personally affect you?
Well, like everybody else in the country, the security that we go through at the different venues and in the airports specifically, deployment to Afghanistan. I obviously spent a year there, a year away from my family. That was one of the other things. And then I think just making when you travel somewhere, just being more aware of your surroundings and things like that. Those are probably the different things that have changed since 9/11. It's actually hard to remember what life was like pre-9/11 at this point. So.
For sure. Now, how did things change for the National Guard after 9/11?
Well, prior to 9/11, we were a strategic reserve, and after 9/11, we became an operational force. So for the last 13 years, we've never been better trained, better equipped, and more heavily relied upon to assist in the war fight than we have in the last 13 years. So that's probably been the biggest change, in that sense for the National Guard. We've deployed, I think, from 22, every unit in the National Guard is deployed since 9/11. Over 7,200 airmen and soldiers have deployed from South Dakota. It's probably affected every community across the state.
Yep, absolutely. And just want to remind everybody also that flags will be flown at half-staff today in honor of 9/11. News Center 1 today. We'll be right back. Stay with us.